Just when we all thought that Ryan Poles was done after solidifying the 53-man roster in the practice squad, he went out and made even more moves to help with an emergency move to fill in for our long snapper need, along with even more depth on the practice squad, and even brought back a familiar face after releasing them for 1 day and 1 day only. Ryan Poles is never not looking to improve this team, and I am very grateful that he is our general manager. And today, I'm going to break down the 2 moves that he made over the last 24 hours to help this team even more. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody, and as always, thank you for tuning in. Today, I am going to break down those 2 moves and what they mean, along with the player that the Chicago Bears brought back. Now, before I begin today's show, smash that like button on this video if you think the Chicago Bears will make the playoffs in 2024, along with commenting your record prediction. I am predicting 12-5 in the NFC North to be ours, which I'll have a full breakdown next week, and you guys will want to hear that, but I want to hear your thoughts ahead of time. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Help me get to 18,000 before week 1, and I am doing my biggest giveaway yet starting on Monday. You are not going to want to miss it. Subscribing automatically enters you already. So let's start off with the first move that Ryan Poles made recently was bringing back fullback Khari Blasingame on a 1-year, $1.55 million contract. The 28-year-old fullback returns to the Chicago Bears after being released as the Bears were moving around a ton of people from IR to make room to do other things. They ended up letting him go, but brought him back immediately. 6 foot, 233 pounds, attended Vanderbilt and was an undrafted rookie free agent. He has been an impactful player for both the Tennessee Titans and the Chicago Bears. Playing in 64 games, starting 21 of them. He has 13 receptions for a 7.6 yard per catch average and 0 receiving touchdowns. He has 1 rush in his career, ironically, for 4 yards when he was with the Titans. But that's not what he's here for. He is a fantastic run and pass blocking fullback, which makes him one of the better fullbacks in the NFL. Now, what I love about Khari Blasingame is his attitude, what he brings to the locker room, his ability on the field, but also we don't have any really solidified blocking running backs besides DeShaun Johnson. So you throw Blasingame back there, you're absolutely getting a lock in the block, and that's really big. He's built like a tank for a fullback, bulldozes over people, is very fast running under a 4.7 40 time for a guy built like him. Great blocking up the middle, opens up tons of opportunities for his running backs, good at reading the defense as well, picking up multiple blocks at once. And again, good hands out of the backfield, solid receiver, good emergency target to go to. Overall, really like what he brings to the table and happy the Bears ended up bringing him back. Good locker room guy. Again, another run blocker for Caleb Williams and the entire running back room. And this guy absolutely brings it every single play. He fights through pain. He plays with a lot of energy. And that's why I love that the Chicago Bears ended up bringing him back, because a lot of people weren't sure that we were going to have a fullback because Shane Waldron really doesn't use him. He found a way. He's back on the team. Then the new kid on the block, a local Chicago kid, is on the Chicago Bears. Scott Daly from Downers Grove, Illinois. 30 years old, 6'1", 245 pounds, a big, long snapper, and we had to bring him in because of the Patrick Scales situation where he is on IR, wishing him a speedy recovery, by the way. He attended Notre Dame, so very smart guy. It was an undrafted rookie free agent. Obviously, most long snappers are. But from Downers Grove, a local Chicago kid, and grew up a Bears fan, and that makes 6 local guys on the Chicago Bears roster now, which I absolutely love. I love that Poles continue to bring guys in to play for their hometown team because it seems like they just play a little bit harder. I mean, look at TJ Edwards and Jack Sanborn, for example. He's on a veteran minimum right now, so about $340,000 for a long snapper. Will likely go to the practice squad once Patrick Scales comes back, whenever that may be. But good to have him. I mean, he's a solid guy. He's played in the NFL for 3 seasons, all with the Detroit Lions. Apparently has done a good job, according to some of my sources over in Detroit. No complaints. Good locker room guy. Again, being a long snapper in the NFL, you just have to send it back as fast as you can and make sure you get a block. And that's exactly what this guy does. Great snap, accurate, and fast. So good to bring him in and, get a fill-in for Patrick Scales immediately. As we all know, that was a big loss for the Chicago Bears from a locker room and from a playing perspective. But he is a good blocker too. I mean, I've never, on all the tape that I've watched of him in the very short 5 minutes of finding it on Twitter, hasn't given up anything up the middle, so good things up there. But What I like about it, he knows the division. He knows what it's like to play the Vikings, the Packers, and obviously he's played for the Lions, so that's good. Chicago kid, good locker room guy, 10 for 10, happy overall signing, really happy to be able to fill in for Patrick Scales. So overall, all good vibes from Scott Daly. Now, before I get more into today's show, I would like to thank today's sponsor, SeatGeek. I am excited to see the Bears this upcoming season in person with how good they're going to be, and the sponsor of today's show makes it that much easier. Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events on SeatGeek, including concerts, sporting events, festivals, and more. And with how good the Bears are going to be this upcoming season, SeatGeek has your tickets for every game. They put all the tickets on the web into one spot to make sure that you guys are getting a good deal. Using their rating scale of 1 through 10, look for the green dots in order to indicate how good a seat is. Green is good, red means not so much. And you know I came through for you guys. Make sure to use code JUSTANOTHERYEAR for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code JUSTANOTHERYEAR. Make sure to click the link in the description to download the app now. And not done yet, he actually ended up going out and getting a new offensive lineman to join the practice squad. Chris Glaser, who attended Virginia, was an undrafted rookie free agent a few years back, standing at 6'4", 306 pounds, and only 24 years old. Right now, his current contract is $17,800 a week, according to NFL averages, because he's not a complete vet yet, but still, hey, that's a lot of money per week to make. He's played in the NFL for the last 2 seasons, all on practice squads, which he's been part of the New York Jets system, the Indianapolis Colts system, and the Kansas City Chiefs. During his time with the Colts, though, where his first team, he actually crossed paths for a little bit with head coach Matt Eberflus. That's kind of where that connection comes in, and Poles obviously saw something in him, which I'll get into in a minute, that made him also want to come to the Chicago Bears. Big, fast offensive lineman, runs a 5.2 40 time. Length and strength is this guy's specialty, super strong, and scored a 9.59 RAS before the draft. That is exactly where I was going with this, guys. You obviously know that Ryan Poles loves his athletic offensive lineman, brought him in. It's a good practice squad guy. I mean, the teams keep picking him up. Bears had the opportunity. They went out and got him, and I overall like this strategy a lot because a young athletic guard that can learn on the practice squad this year could be used next year for longevity, being on the 53-man once some of the older guys or older veterans are retired, maybe replace Larry Borum, replace other players as a whole. Overall, I mean, you see that athleticism. If you can apply that with good coaching, good things are going to happen for this team. So I like this pickup a lot, even though it means that we had to cut a few people on the practice squad right now, which not a fan of, but doesn't mean they can't come back. So the overall moves that Ryan Poles has made over the last 24 hours for the Chicago Bears was he signed to the active roster Khari, Blasingame, and Scott Daly, who they're still moving some things around right now, but the Bears aren't going to get penalized for it till game day. But Daly again takes over Patrick Scales during this time while he's recovering from back surgery. So please send him some good wishes. And then Chris Glaser ends up going to the practice squad. From a practice squad perspective, the Bears ended up cutting safety Quindell Johnson, who was on the practice squad last year. I'm expecting him to kind of stay in the Chicagoland area. Most likely, I don't think he'll go home or live at a hotel. He's probably got an apartment here from the summer. So he's just going to continue to make that out. He has made good money this summer so far, so not worried about that. Bears could definitely end up bringing him back. And then defensive lineman DeShaun Mallory, local Chicago kid. I expect him to be on and off this practice squad as well. I mean, he is local from Chicago, so he's probably heading back home right now to just chill for a bit unless another team picks him up. But overall, unfortunately, those guys were cut. Wishing them the best of luck, whatever that means, but happy with the new guys that we brought in. And overall, good things from Ryan Poles. So super excited about the moves that he's made and what's next for this team. But overall, guys, that's the news for today. Super excited about it, and I hope that you guys are too. But with that, hope you guys have a great weekend ahead because next week, biggest giveaway ever logging in. Make sure you like this video right now. Put your record prediction in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Help us hit 18,000 before week 1. But with that, thank you, as always, to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody, and as always, bear down, baby.
Hello and welcome to Fantasy on the Fly. The Bears' most valuable fantasy player may not even be a player by the end of the season. It could be the Bears' defensive unit. I think this unit is going to be a great fantasy play, and here's why. Matt Eberflus's hits philosophy, hustle, intensity, takeaway, and smart playing will prevail this year. You saw how aggressive the Bears D was in the preseason. I expect it to continue. Eberflus will be calling the plays all season. We now have a full season of Montez Sweat as well, along with Jalen Johnson leading the defensive charge for the Bears, which will be great for fantasy players. I believe the Bears defense, a top 3 to 5 defense by the end of the season. Who's going to be their best rookie quarterback for fantasy? I'm not sure it'll be Kalen Williams, but I am very impressed by what I've seen with Bo Nix from Denver. Nix, first rookie starting for Sean Payton in over 2 decades, has Cortland Sutton as a weapon, and this guy was very successful in his college career. I like Bo Nix to be a fantasy starter by midseason.